And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware with Scott's 4-Step. 4 easy steps to an awesome lawn.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, folks, the men's NCAA college basketball tournament is now down to the Sweet 16. That's it. That's all that's left. Just 16 teams, many of whom I did not pick to be there. But here we are. We're looking at Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, Houston, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, Purdue, Michigan, Alabama, Tennessee, and Iowa State. So, who did I have in the Sweet 16? I can tell you this. It wasn't Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, Houston, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, Purdue, Michigan, Alabama, Tennessee, or Iowa State. No, sir, I had something slightly different. I had Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, Florida, Nebraska, Illinois, Houston, Arizona, Wisconsin, Gonzaga, Purdue, Michigan, Alabama, UVA, and Iowa State. Now, you might say, Baxy, your picks weren't so bad. Apart from Florida, Wisconsin, Gonzaga, and UVA, your picks are actually pretty close to Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, Houston, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, Purdue, Michigan, Alabama, Tennessee, and Iowa State. And while that is all true, the fact of the matter is, in the ESPN Tournament Challenge, I am currently in 11.4 millionth place. On the very sketchy, illegal Rock 102 office pool, I'm now in a two-way tie for 7th place with, of all people, Steve Nagle, who I should point out knows less about college basketball than most people. And yet, all I had to do was make a few changes, and perhaps I could have selected Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, Houston, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, Purdue, Michigan, Alabama, Tennessee, and Iowa State for the Sweet 16. Now, if there's any consolation, nobody on the ESPN Tournament Challenge is still operating with a perfect set. And to the best of my knowledge, neither is anybody else. So on the positive side, Rock 102 is probably going to keep that $1 million for the 35th year in a row. Meanwhile, I'll be making a new set of brackets that will hopefully look like I know what I'm doing. But I'm not holding out much hope because clearly I'm one of the biggest dopes on the Rock 102 staff. But hey, you never mind yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Scott's 4-Step, a simple lawn care program that prevents weeds, nourishes grass, and strengthens your lawn season by season. It does just about everything. Go to Rocky's for Scott's 4-Step, $95 with your Ace Rewards card. You'll get it at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock at 6:12 and Bon Jovi with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be rainy this morning and then clouds this afternoon with a high of 37. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 42. It is 37 right now in downtown Springfield.
You know, I'm sure we'll talk more about this in greater depth with Scott Cohen when he gets here later on. But the illegal office pool that we're doing with the March Madness. Uh-huh. You and I, last week you talked about how you were leading the pack. You and I are now in a tie for 7th place.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were looking at that. I'm looking at that and not liking that at all.
Who's number 1?
Cohen.
Of course he is.
Of course he is. So I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of that later on.
Well, it doesn't really matter now. Now that I'm below 3rd, it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't. I mean, we're out.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I guess you could still technically win the contest somehow if somebody else gets eliminated with their picks, right?
The way it works for actual listeners, if they do the bracket brawls, they can fill out a bracket for the Sweet 16 and also for the Final Four. So if your bracket is destroyed, like most people's are,
right,
you can still win a nice prize.
Yeah.
But you got to do it before they start playing games, and so we'll give you more details about that later on.
Yeah, you know what? March Madness is only fun to me the first couple of days. And then the rest of it is like, the rest of you people go crazy, and your winnings.
It's like the first couple of days, the first opening round doesn't seem all that serious. It's just there for fun. But now that you got the Sweet 16, okay, well, now you got to strap in. These games actually mean something.
So I take it you didn't participate in any of the Holyoke St. Patrick's festivities over the weekend?
No, absolutely not, Steve. Yeah. Believe it or not, I found other ways to occupy my time.
I did Nathan Bills on Friday night. I did comedy. before the band Seven Roads came out on stage.
Okay.
And also did comedy in between sets of the band Seven Roads.
So while Seven Roads was busy trying to figure out how to get to the next Seven Roads,
yes,
they had you back.
Yeah. And first of all, I had a great time. I thought it wasn't your traditional stand-up comedy venue.
By the way, that's putting it mildly.
Nathan Bills that was an awesome, the way they did that whole thing. They did expand that whole thing. Remember we were saying, don't they do that every year? Well, they expanded the tent and all that stuff now. So it was a much bigger layout for people to move around and stuff.
So this was all outside?
It was all outside under a tent and a thing. And it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool setup that they got over there for the St. Patrick's weekend, and they got plenty of porta potties. That's that's probably one of the most important things that you could possibly do is offer people enough places to go to the bathroom, because technically you only got 4 bathrooms inside the place.
I got to tell you got a whole parking lot of potential bathroom facility right there behind you.
But they don't want you doing that, so they put out. There's probably a half a dozen porta potties out there. The whole setup was pretty good. So anyway, I get there. There's nobody there. Like when I got there on Friday night. Well, because it's just after work. The restaurant's busy, but the outside portion, there's maybe 30, 40 people throughout the whole thing.
Had the band even started setting up yet?
Yeah, they were set up. They were actually doing their sound check, and they were waiting for the guy to come and do the sound check. And so they're like, we're going to push this back like 20 minutes. I said, that's whatever. I'm fine. Whatever you want to do. But I'm like, there's like nobody here. But I'm like, whatever. I'm up for a challenge. Like, let's try something new.
Yeah, why not?
Because that's the way I look at things now. I used to like dread doing those things, but now I'm like, no. We can work with this somehow. And it gives me a little experience to talk to a room full of people who are not listening to you.
You got to know how to deal with a hostile crowd.
Yeah,
twice in a night.
But I did probably about a half an hour up front, and it was a lot of crowd work.
Okay,
because there was groups of people like kind of starting to gather because they were waiting for the band to start playing. Everybody could have cared less about what I was doing there.
Right.
But
you kind of knew that going in.
Yeah. And I'm not, when I talk to people in the crowd, unless you're insulting to me, then I will be insulting to you. But for the most part, I'm just asking you, hey, where's everybody from? Where's
Yeah.
My joke was this band Seven Roads is named after the town of East Longmeadow because there's 7 roads going into one location. How come they don't have band names for the other towns? Like, where's the Holyoke Sea Anals? And
yeah, hilarious stuff.
And or the Chicopee Sluts. And I was like, where's the Chicopee Sluts in here? And one girl goes, woo!
Because those girls don't get out until at least 10.
Right. So, I was having fun.
Yeah.
I was having fun with the crowd, and some people were paying attention, some people weren't. I understood the situation. They're waiting for the band. They care less about this guy who's standing up on stage. We're having fun, but there's one lady towards the end of the set starts going. You could clearly tell that she had started partaking in the festivities probably around 6:30 in the morning.
So she was slightly overserved.
Yes, already before she even got there, and she's like, "Why don't you tell some jokes?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What do you think I've been doing up here for the last 25 minutes?"
Right.
You're just not funny. Why don't you tell like actual jokes? And I'm like, I don't. Do you want to hear? And I said, what do you want to hear? Like a joke, like a street joke, like what's? And I said, what's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean?
Yeah.
I got a laugh out of some people because some people still haven't heard that.
Still
joke.
A great joke.
And she was like, yes, I came here to see you. And I'm like, you came here to see me? And then she goes, no, I didn't. And I go, well, what is it? Did you come here to see me or didn't you? And then she's railing into the fact she doesn't find me funny at all. And I'm like, okay, well, this is almost over, so don't worry. You know, this will be done soon. And then I said, well, what do you do for a living? And she said, I cook. And I go, meth? I could tell by the burn holes on your shirt. And that kind of started getting the attention of the crowd. And then and she just kept talking, and I just kept like throwing it back at her. I'm like, let me ask you something. When you got up this morning and drank the fifth of vodka and then started cooking the meth before you smoked it, did you say, I'm going to ruin somebody else's good time tonight at Nathan Bill's? And she kept telling me that we just want to see the band, and then that was my segue to introduce the band. The band started, they had a good time, and then they took a break. The second set was unnecessary because by that time
There are some who would say the first set was unnecessary.
Well, yeah, but you know what? I'm a whore for money, so I'll take whatever you're throwing at me. And the second set probably shouldn't have happened because it wasn't bad. It just people were already half in the bag waiting for the music to come back on because I don't know if you've ever seen Seven Roads before.
Oh yeah,
they wail, man. They were
the drummer is my chiropractor.
Get the hell out of here.
That's
really?
right. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
What? Oh, he's running that drum scam too. Over there. But no, thanks to Seven Roads and Nathan Bills for having me out there on Friday night.
That's awesome. It's 6:21 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock at 6:28. And Nirvana with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be cloudy eventually after the rain is over with a high of 37. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 42. It is 37 right now in downtown Springfield.
This week on Baxy's Musical Podcast, my guest is Ben Easton from the band Deary. They're about to release their first full-length record called Burning on April 3rd from Bella Union Records. Really interesting guy, really interesting record. And you can hear that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, the Rock 102 app, also on rock102.com. Brought to you by Metro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at Chicopee and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
All right, you ready for a quick laugh?
Yes.
All right, let's laugh.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you,
on Rock 102,
I make you laugh.
Springfield's Classic Rock.
Yeah, I saw an underweight Irish family over the weekend.
You did?
Yeah. The Ozempics. You see, because they've lost a lot of weight from taking the GLP. What is it, GLP?
GLP-1s.
GLP-1s. Why am I confusing GLP with ChatGPT?
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 102.
6:32 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. Crews put out a 3-acre brush fire on Federal Street in Belchertown Saturday afternoon. Or they just waited till Sunday and the rain started.
Right. But even rain, a 3-acre fire probably couldn't be doused by the kind of rain you got.
Belchertown Fire Chief John Ingram stated that crews responded on Saturday to the area of 961 Federal Street for a reported brush fire. Granby firefighters were called to provide assistance. The size was reported to be 3.1 acres, but we all know they're lying about that. Crews worked together to put out...
Even if it's 2 acres, that's a big fire.
I know, but they're always trying to up the size.
Yeah, I know. We all do that, but even still.
Crews worked together to put out the fire. That is a dumb line to say. Crews worked together to put out the fire. Well, I would hope so.
As opposed to like scrambling individually to help blow out the flame.
Yeah, well, I was like, Belchertown called in, what's the next town over? Granby for assistance.
Sure.
But Granby and their crew, they didn't want to work with the Belchertown people, so they just sat there and watched the Belchertown guys work on the fire.
Yeah, they sat in the back, said, hey, you guys first.
Crews worked together.
Yeah, we'll help you when you're done.
I just think that's a dumb thing to say. Crews work together. Yeah, I know. That's what they do.
That's what happens when mutual aid is called in. They operate as one.
And the Department of Conservation and Recreation arrived in the area to assist. Yelling at the animals to get out of the woods. It's a guy with the fish police going up to a tree, knocking on the trees, going, get out, get out, get out.
Squirrels, there's a fire. Get out! Save your lives!
the fish police. They came to assist.
I'm sure that even the fish police, in times of forest fires or brush fires or whatever it is, they have certain protocols that they adhere to, certain rules, so they are being helpful, so that they're not telling displaced beavers or antelope what they should do. They're not setting up Red Cross stations for badgers and skunks.
You don't think so? There's not somebody there doing that?
I don't know if they're there wrapping gauze around the foot of a fox or whatever.
Here's some fruit snacks and some juice for the bears to take back into the woods.
Do you animals have a place to stay tonight?
The Belchertown Fire Department determined the cause of the fire to be embers from an outside fireplace causing an open hay field to ignite. Because you know what? The weather's getting nicer, and I'm sure somebody went out in their backyard and said, you know what? Today would be a good day, a good night to have a fire before it starts raining.
No one ever says, hey, it would be a good thing? Today would be a great night to have a 3-acre brush fire.
Yes. No, nobody wants that.
So if you're going to have a fire pit or one of those outdoor chimney things, make sure the fire's out before you go in for the night.
Yeah.
Probably a really smart call.
I have a fire barrel that says Bax and Nagle on it.
How'd you get that?
Because I know a guy who has it's just a regular metal fire barrel. It is not professionally written on the side.
Oh, okay.
It is like a kid with a crayon writes on his first paper.
Yes.
This is what the welders do on their first day of class.
Because I was thinking that maybe you could have pinched one of the bum drums we got for the Mayflower Marathon many years ago.
No, the bum drums actually have dedicated artwork, and I believe there's lasers involved to make it. This is Bax on one side,
and then Nagle
on the other, and it just says 102. All
right, so I don't feel bad about that.
No, there's no ampersand. There's no background to it.
Without the right punctuation, I want nothing to do with it.
Westfield fire crews rescued an individual from the water in the area of Russell Road Saturday morning. The Westfield Fire Department stated that Saturday morning, crews were called to 1100 Russell Road for a water rescue. Arriving firefighters located the individual and attempted to guide them to shore. Due to freezing temperatures, slippery terrain, and steep banks, the individual was unable to free themselves from the water, and crews switched to a hands-on team rescue approach. The Western Mass Technical Rescue Team was called to provide support, but the activation was canceled after firefighters were able to successfully rescue the victim. Residents are advised to stay cautious and keep a safe distance from fast-moving water, as conditions are more often dangerous than they appear. But there are people practicing for the river races that are coming up in just a few weeks.
Yeah, but even they'll tell you that even if you know what you're doing, it's still dangerous.
Well, they list the conditions of the river, how bad it is or whatever.
If I see there's red flags out there, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? Maybe today's not the day to go on the river.
On that weekend, they have many different first responders all along the route, just in case something does happen. But in this case, it's somebody's calling. We're stuck in the water. If you don't have all the resources there at once, then you're kind of
you're SOL.
SOL. So the big St. Patrick's parade went off without a hitch yesterday in Holyoke.
Mm-hmm.
And police, this was before the parade, police implemented public safety measures during the Holyoke St. Patrick's parade. The police department stated that these particular protocols were put in place to ensure a safe environment for all attendees. They include strict rules regarding prohibited items, unauthorized drone flights, and specific traffic adjustments across the city's downtown areas. But they didn't list them.
Well, because they probably feel if they list them, it kind of extends their hand for those who were going to get caught.
Well, they were discouraging the use of backpacks
for booze.
Yeah, or what if you're carrying around a kid's binky? Hey, or what if you're carrying around a bottle of vodka wrapped up in a kid's binky
with a nipple on it?
Yeah.
Those are important things.
Additionally, attendees are prohibited from placing couches along the parade route to save space. Couches. There probably has been somebody who has done couches along the parade route.
You know, they've got those fold-up couches. They're kind of like like lawn chair couches, like this, 3 or 4 seats, 4 seats maybe.
Yeah.
Tops, and they all fold out. It's essentially a couch. I wonder if they consider that to be a couch, because then you're saving 4 seats.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen one of those things.
No.
Yeah. I have a hard time imagining you're going to go to Raymore and Flanagan and say, listen, I want the cheapest couch you can get, and here's where I want it delivered. Right on the parade route on Friday night, just before they kick off the road race.
Yeah.
So that if someone's running, they can sit down, and I got a place to sit during the parade on Sunday.
That's actually not a bad idea.
And then return it after it's all said and done. It's like, this one isn't going to work.
Even if you didn't return it, if you had a prime spot on that parade route,
Yeah.
you could have a couch delivered to your front lawn. Like, let's say you owned a house on that thing. You get a couch delivered to your front lawn. You charge people, for the first hour of the parade, $25 each. There's 4 people. That's $100. By the time the parade's over, you could have paid for the couch.
It's no different than charging people to park in your front yard during these big events, or like the Big E or whatever.
You're parking your ass in this couch.
Yeah.
For only an hour.
You get an hour. Okay.
Yeah, $25 an hour to sit here. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad deal. If everything was set up for me and I didn't have to carry anything, I could just walk to the location. That would be ideal.
Take reservations.
What do the Indians have to do with this?
No, not Indian reservations. I'm talking about like restaurant reservations. Like for the first hour, you get to sit with a friend. After that second hour, there's another couple waiting to sit on those seats.
Yeah.
I don't think it's such a bad idea.
I think we're on to something. Maybe we could do seat rental next year.
I like that idea.
We'll go into the seat rental business. We'll go around to all of the thrift stores and buy a bunch of couches that nobody wanted to begin with.
My wife and I were having lunch yesterday, and she was asking because we were at the Roadhouse.
Yeah, Roadhouse.
The Roadhouse. Anyway,
Texas Roadhouse.
Yes. No, the Delaware one.
I don't know.
The Wyoming Roadhouse on Cooley Street.
You live out in the sticks. Who knows if there's some kind of other roadhouse going on out there?
Anyhow, she's asking me about the parade because they were showing the parade on TV, and she asked me, how many times did you walk in that? I said, well, I probably walked in it about 4 times where we walked, and about 2 times on the old fire truck. And I said, she said, would you ever do it again? I said, I don't know. If I had like a vehicle to do it, then maybe I'd do it. She said, why don't you do it the year you retire? Get into get in there and have like a little side-by-side or a golf cart.
Oh, yeah, you could do that.
Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
Maybe a great way to say goodbye.
Well, that's if you make it to the retirement.
No, listen, there's a very good chance I won't. But I mean, but nevertheless, if I get there.
You could have an embolism tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen to you.
The way I'm operating right now, you never know.
Well, I mean, just take care of yourself. Otherwise, you won't see that parade dream come true.
Steve, I'm taking tremendous care of myself.
Yeah. I won't be with you in it. I would just be yelling things to you from the side, as I did so many years ago with you and John in the parade, where I called you both losers and told you to sit down and get out of the parade. And I have video of that, too.
I think by that point, I would rather have sat down and got out of the parade.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today, it is going to be rainy and then cloudy today with a high of 37. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 42. It is 37 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
Rock 102.
Springfield's Classic Rock at 6:51. And Elton John with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be... it's going to be, it's rainy right now. It's going to be cloudy for the rest of the day, high of 37. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 42. It is 37 right now in downtown Springfield.
Rock 102 wants to help you get that project done by giving you $5,000 with Pick Your Project, brought to you by Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements. Use it to fund a project with one of our sponsors like Pioneer Concrete Coatings, Chameleon Remodeling, And painting, 21st Century Pools and Spas, contractors, Electrical Plus, or Dave Miner, Exterior Home Improvements himself. You want to win $5,000? You go to rock102.com starting on March 30th and sign up before noon on April 24th when one winner will be chosen at random. Maybe it'll be you. It's Pick Your Project from Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
Over the week, Saturday, I went, took kids out for our favorite pastime, thrift shopping. We go to all the thrift stores and find all the weird stuff. And then we were down in this area, in the Enfield area, and we went to Cane's Chicken.
You did?
Yeah.
Have you not been there before?
I've been to one out in Las Vegas because anytime I've tried to go to the one here, the line was out snaking out into the parking lot of the. Is that even open, the mall? Is it?
I believe the Target is back open, but I can't be certain.
But the rest of the anyway. The line was like 45 minutes to wait, and I'm like, I'm not. It's a piece of chicken. Sorry, it's not that important. But I had it out in Vegas, and it was all right. It wasn't bad.
Sure.
But my kids never had it, and we had one of their friends with us, so I went and it was busy in there.
Right.
You couldn't get a parking spot in the lot because everybody was there. And then there was a drive-through line that was building as well. So it was a fairly busy. It didn't take long for the food to come out. I think, they probably got that whole system down because it looked like the drive-through line goes fairly quickly.
Yeah. Well, they'd have to.
Right. So, but I park, in the mall parking lot and just walk over and get inside. And here's the thing that drives me nuts. If you know you're a busy place, you got to have somebody like restocking the supplies and cleaning up that area that people are little piggies in.
Right.
When they go to make their own soda. Pouring your own soda is probably one of the most irresponsible things a restaurant could do. Because people they spill it everywhere. And then you got, the whole area is all like messed up.
It's all sticky.
All sticky and everything. And then we go to sit down, and then, it's probably like 10 minutes. And I ordered one of these. It was $41
for three people.
For a tray of chicken fingers. It wasn't a bad price comparatively to most fast food places, but, it was pretty decent. The chicken was good. But then as I'm taking the chicken out of this giant bag that they give you, I knock over my Coke Zero, and it goes everywhere, like everywhere. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to clean this up as best I can. But I did go over. My daughter, one of my daughters coming over, she's putting napkins down and everything. But the napkins, the napkins aren't meant for that. It's not Bounty. There's no quicker picker uppering.
There's the little tiny square ones. You need like 5,000 of them to pick up even a small mess.
Right. So I said, well, let me at least go tell. Now, mind you, there's people all around. Like it's a very busy restaurant. So I go up to the thing and I said, listen, I'm sorry I spilled, this giant soda over here. And she's like, okay, we'll get somebody out there. Well, nobody was coming over. And I wound up going through like an entire ream of napkins to clean this thing up. But it was going to need like to be mopped or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we sat there for like 20 minutes. There was nobody came over. Nobody came over to clean that up. And I get it that you're busy, but you obviously know you're busy all the time. Why do you not have a dedicated person coming out making sure that the restaurant eating area is clean?
I mean, they're a busy place, but I often think that if you were at like a non-national chain restaurant, if there were a problem, a spill or whatever, they'd be on it right away because their business relies on that kind of quick action.
Yeah, you don't like go down to Nadim's and then like if something spills, they're like, "Oh, just leave it there. No. We'll pick it up later." No, somebody comes out with a mop and cleans that whole thing. Like Yeah.
If I may bring you back almost like 25 years ago, I'm doing one of these cross-country road trips with the family, and we decided we're going to pull over, get something to eat at the Angola rest stop in Angola, New York.
Oh, I love the Angola rest
That's the one that
stop.
crosses the highway.
Yeah. You walk across from one side to the other, yeah.
So we go to the McDonald's, right? And I get Happy Meals for the kids because they're at that age where Happy Meal's really all they want.
Yeah.
And as we're sitting down and I'm bringing the food over, in fact, the food hadn't even arrived yet. I was ordering the food. The family was sitting down. The moment I walk over to the table, one of my kids starts throwing up in the restaurant.
Oh, great.
Just everywhere. Very Mr. Creosote type of fashion.
Yeah.
So I put the food down and I go to the front of the McDonald's and say, "Hey, listen, my kid just got sick in the restaurant. Could I get someone to help clean it up?" And the response was, "Well, what do you want me to do about it?"
Oh, well, that's...
You got vomit in your restaurant, and you're asking me to come up with solutions?
Well, at least give you the materials to clean it up.
Well, that would be fine, and I would have done that begrudgingly, but yet, nevertheless, it took 12, 15 minutes before someone decided to finally come out and clean up their restaurant?
Yeah. That's, I don't know.
It's like, I mean, come on, man. It's like, you've got it. This is an emergency situation as far as the cleanliness of your restaurant.
The appealingness to other people that are either not going to want to sit there at all, or the ones who sit there and go, "Oh my God, this is the only place we have to eat. Here's this pile of puke that's sitting next to us." But that's a funny word, puke.
It is when you think about it.
I know we got to get out of here. But it is very unsightly. And I cleaned it up. My daughter and I, cleaned up all the liquid portion of it. But there was still, and I said something again before I was like, you might want to get over there and there's like a sticky spot on the floor over there. You might want to. And then I realized it wasn't the only sticky spot on the floor.
No,
there were multiple sticky spots.
There's a bunch of places that are very much like a movie theater floor.
But listen, you're booming business. You got plenty of people working there, obviously, to make that happen, to make that food come out so quickly and so hot and fresh. What is one more person going to be who's dedicated to stocking the condiments and cleaning up the inside of the restaurant?
If you want to continue to be a booming business, you pick up the slop that's in your restaurant.
Yeah, see, now I don't know if I would go back there anytime soon.
It's Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Quiet, please. It's back. The Rock 102 Golf Club presents. And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware with Scott's 4-Step. 4 easy steps to an awesome lawn.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, as you know, it's my job here at Rock 102 to entertain you rubes for 4.5 hours every single day with my clever observations, my jaunty banter, and bracingly hilarious repartee. It's what I'm paid to do. Granted, I might do even more of it if I were paid slightly better, but I'm not here to complain. I'm here to talk about the people of the world who do not share the sort of skill set. You know, the sort of people who, in an attempt to be funny, are simply not funny at all. People who, by no fault of their own, are genetically predisposed to making unwanted comments thoroughly devoid of comedic value or merit. And among those types is New York Giants running back Cam Skattebo. Yesterday, and on social media, Skattebo publicly apologized for comments he made on the Bring the Juice podcast, in which he downplayed the seriousness of not one, but 2 serious medical conditions. The first of which was response to a question, "Do you think CTE brain injuries are real?" To which Cam Skattebo replied, "Nah, it's just an excuse." He later went on to say, "Asthma's fake too." Now, I don't know if you know this, but in a recent study by Boston University, 40% of youth, high school, and college football players who died before the age of 30 were all diagnosed with chronic brain injuries like CTE. And I don't know if you're aware of this. According to the World Health Organization, there's an estimated 262 million people in the world who suffer from asthma. Folks, these kind of jokes wouldn't even fly during a $20 dinner and a comedy show. Never mind pass them off in a largely forgettable podcast appearance. I don't recall anyone accusing Junior Seau or Aaron Hernandez of faking their brain injuries. I also know people who would rather beat you over their head with their inhaler than listen to you claim that they're faking their inability to breathe. Sorry, Cam, perhaps you might want to workshop those jokes at an open mic before you bring them to the big rooms, or set your mouth on blast during a podcast interview that's never, ever, ever going to go away, because that might have been a big mistake. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. What goes on in that house? The greenhouse of the Agawam Rockies. You need to talk to Daniel. He's the guy with the green thumb. He'll help you with the greenhouse plants and anything lawn and garden. Good people like Daniel and rock-solid service at every Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 7:14. And Ozzy with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Rainy today with a high of 37. It is 37 right now in downtown Springfield.
I can't believe that the person who is in charge, right on the head of the illegal office pool that we're running here on Rock 102, happens to be in the studio. Scott Cohen is leading everybody right now with the best picks of the tournament.
I am. I was, I was kind of watching it. I mean, hey, buddy, it's fun to be on top.
I'm sure it is. I'm now in a tie for 7th place with Steve right now.
Oh, nice, very nice.
How about that?
Yeah. How did that happen?
And especially what I always laugh, Steve, about how you do, because when you do the bracket, you just willy-nilly it, right?
No, I actually put some effort into it.
You did this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
He went with the picking by seeds, which is a reasonable thing to do.
Sure.
But there are some tricks that happen that you have to realize. If you want your brackets to be destroyed by the end of the first two rounds, that is really how you do it.
Please tell me about how these tricks have gotten you so many riches from your methodology of what you're doing. I'm tied for the same place that you are.
There was one year I actually won one of these things, and I was like,
"What'd you win? How much money?"
I went in with a friend of mine. I think we wound up splitting it's like over $1,000.
Oh, wow.
And we went in together, so it was like, okay, well, I don't mind splitting it, but that's like rare. And you were saying before we went in that the last remaining perfect set of brackets ended last night, and to me, you have a better shot of not knowing what the hell you're doing at all to get a perfect set of brackets than if you know too much and are an expert in it, because even the best experts never get this right.
But it's all by odds. There's no like formula to winning.
There is a formula to for some picks, believe it or not.
Then how come you're still tied with 7th place with me? This is what I'm saying. You guys,
he's asking a legitimate question.
It's a legitimate question.
Listen, for all you experts to come on here and go, this is the way you got to do it. This is the way you got to do it. It's the same odds you got as everybody else.
About 30 years ago, Dick Vitale wrote a book called Tourney Time, and he broke it down that the probabilities of certain matchups always seem to work out. Like a number 16 seed has only beaten a number 1 seed once.
Sure.
Only happened once. So you can guarantee that a number 1 seed's always going to beat a 16. Yes. But then there's also other seeded matchups where there are certain probabilities, and if you're going with the probabilities, then you can assume that an 8's going to be a 9, or like a 5 could beat a 12. I mean, those kinds of things happen.
Yes.
The difficulty is picking which one of those is going to be the upset.
Right. So obviously, I think the real key to it is obviously it's the first round games, and you mentioned the say like the 5-12 matchup, the 6-11, and like this. So like this year. So the 5-6, the 5-12, and the 6-11, those are the ones that you have to sit there and look at, and you have to have luck, but you also have to have the nuts to make the call. So High Point, right? They were like the Cinderella of the first round,
right?
And if you're really sitting there and you really think that you have a shot to try to go deep into the bracket tournament, you really do have to sit there and say, okay, of all the games on this side of the bracket, I've got to pick High Point because that's how I'm gonna get some extra points. And, and again, Texas, same thing against BYU. You've got to sit there and look and say, all right, where is that magical game that's going to happen? And it's always that 5-12 game those are the ones you have to figure out to have a shot at really piling up points.
I mean, like Wisconsin, got beat by High Point. No one expected that. I had Wisconsin. It would seem to be a reasonable pick to make.
I had Wisconsin too, but as I alluded to a minute ago, that game should have been the one where you said to yourself, you know what, everybody's going to pick Wisconsin. I'm going to pick High Point.
Yeah, and Florida, the number one seed, bounced out.
They were up. With seconds to go in the game, and that kid from Iowa buried the 3-point shot with like 4 seconds to go. And that it's the tournament,
and the thing is, every time I do this, and I do this every year, and I don't often bet money on it.
No,
I
don't either.
Very rare because it's a losing game.
It's just for fun.
Totally, but for fun. I think once you get to the Sweet 16, to me, the fun is the first 2 rounds. That's where things get fun.
Yes,
things get serious at the Sweet 16.
Yes.
So you look at these matchups and you say, okay, well, these are going to be legitimate games. Any one of these teams could potentially win at this point.
No doubt about it. Absolutely.
There's no one team that you can say absolutely unbeatable, and there's no way they don't make the finals. I don't think there's a team that does that yet.
Well, so UConn is going to play Michigan State. That'll be a huge game. I think that's the late game on Friday. And, John Calipari and, Rick Pitino, the Murder Incorporated coaches of any NCAA tournament. Fortunately, they're both still alive. St. John's is going through a little bit of a run right now. But they can't meet and face each other unless they get to the championship game because they're on opposite sides of the bracket. And so I think for the most part, we know that that's probably not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Not a chance in hell. I'm going to say that right now.
Although if it does, free table dances for everybody, right?
Free table dances and jewelry and cash for all your friends.
Exactly. Everybody gets paid if they make it to the finals.
Red Sox open up this week on Thursday in Cincinnati.
Yeah, they've had a pretty good spring, Baxie. They did a lot to improve their pitching staff over the winter. They're not going to score a lot of runs. Hopefully, they prevent a lot. They open up against Cincinnati. Garrett Crochet's there. Chalk up a win, and then I think Sonny Gray, the new guy, is going to start the second game. And I don't think they've figured out who the third starter is going to be yet. But yeah, man, hope springs eternal. I think they've got a shot. They'll be worth watching.
Well. You hope so, and you also hope that the other teams continue to flounder also, because I think just based on rosters alone, I mean, there's enough going on in that division where you could say any one of those teams could turn it around. I mean, they're all pretty good teams.
They are, and the Yankees are, they're stacked again. So
yeah,
and their Yankees actually play the first game Wednesday night against the Giants in San Francisco.
Celtics were
man, they laid a friggin' egg yesterday. They're gonna be fine. I think they're a half game up on the Knicks for the number 2 seed in the East. So that's still a little bit of an issue. Minnesota hadn't won in Boston since 2005, and that's
19 in a row.
Yeah, Sunday afternoon game. You figure the Celtics will just get a cakewalk and walk through it, but they didn't, and they play Oklahoma City this week at home. So that's
a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
And the Bruins got a huge win on Saturday night, beating Detroit. The Red Wings and the Bees are battling for playoff position, so that was a good one for them. And, last but not least, UMass got knocked out of the Hockey East tournament by Merrimack. Big upset. And then Merrimack went and beat UConn in the final. So the Warriors, who I sent plenty of monthly checks to when my daughter went there, They'll make the NCAA tournament, and UMass hockey season is over.
All right, very good.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Fingers crossed for the tournament, and you're
gonna lose.
We'll know. Well, hey man, it's a long way to fall when you're on top.
That's
so
it.
We'll see what happens.
It's 7:24 with Bax and Nagle. Scott Cohen on Rock 102.
Everyone has a project they want to finish.
7:27 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be rainy today with a high of 37. It is 37 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hey, this Saturday, I'm really excited to be a part of the Night of Wishes and Championship College Basketball Swish Night event for Make-A-Wish. It's happening at the Longmeadow Country Club on Saturday. Starts at 6. There are a limited number of tickets still available, but if you wanted to do it, you go to the Make-A-Wish Western Mass and Rhode Island website. It's a great event. They're going to try to grant 20 wishes through the money they raise that night. So if you can do it, love to see you. Longmeadow Country Club, Shaker Road in Longmeadow, this Saturday night from about 6 to 10. It's going to be a lot of fun and a great night. And you can watch basketball at the same time.
Sounds like a good time.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
And I'll tell you about my celebrity bartending thing I got coming up later.
Oh, nice. Got news next on Rock 102. 7:30 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Aquapump, an expert in all water supply systems from the well to the pump and into the house. There's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. Do you know where the E.J. Gare parking lot garage is?
Is that the one in Northampton?
How did you know that?
Because I read the story and didn't realize it had a name to it.
I didn't realize it had a name to it either. And I'm like, I just clicked the headline. I'm like, E.J. Gare. I'm like, is that the new one downtown Springfield?
No. That is the one behind Thorns.
Well, the city of Northampton said they'll be looking to partially close the E.J. Gare parking garage. It's the Northampton parking garage. If you don't call it that all the time, then how do you expect people to understand what you're talking about?
Well, remember they were talking like about the South End Bridge, and they called it the Julia Buxton Bridge, and there were like people go, the Julia who? From what?
The what's a Uzi? Yeah. I'd like to visit her South End.
Yeah, see, no one knew who Julia Buxton was. I still don't really know, other than they named a bridge after her.
Let's see if we can find a picture of Julia Buxton.
Okay.
Think she's got a spread?
I don't think she's got an OnlyFans account. If that's what you're.
Julia Buxton. Let's see, images. Well, that looks like somebody modern. Here's the old picture. Here's an old. She might have been a looker back in her day. Julia, Georgia. Wait, Julia. Yeah, Julia, Georgia. Wait a minute. What was the? Is it Julia B. Buxton? What's
Julia the Julia B. Buxton Bridge?
Well, I don't know who this is then.
I don't know.
This is Julia. I don't know.
Well, again, maybe there's some sort of Springfield, Agawam, West Springfield historian that knows a thing or two about who Julia B. Buxton was.
They used to pick up the Buxton broads in the South End on a weekly basis. That's where they drop them off.
Yeah.
That's why they named the bridge after them. They'd bring together the guys looking for a good time with the Buxton sisters on one side of the river.
Right.
And the Buxton sisters on the other side of the river, and they needed a way to combine them both, so they built a bridge. And then they named it after
I mean, there's
Buxton.
There's a Julia Buxton who, was an important industrialist during World War I, but I don't know if that's the same one. Doesn't quite say. I need more information.
There's also a Julia Buxton who does accounting for Xerox in East Hartford.
I don't think that's her.
No. Different lady, you think?
Accountants don't usually get bridges named after them.
Or people in HR.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Julia from HR, she got that bridge named after her.
Yeah.
Julia Buxton, you've heard that before. We used to just call her the South End. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right. And in an effort to confuse as many people possible, 22 News came out with a story the other night about Holyoke.
Okay.
And many people online were commenting this because there has been no update to this since Saturday. A heavy police presence was observed at the intersection of High and Cabot Street in Holyoke Saturday night. When 22 news crews arrived around 11 p.m., isn't that the very time the newscast starts?
That's right.
There were several evidence markers laid out, as well as yellow police tape blocking off an area of High Street. More than a dozen police cruisers were at the scene. 22 News has reached out to the Holyoke Police Department and is currently awaiting a response. Updates will be provided as more information becomes available. And that is it. There was no follow-up. There was no...
Maybe they're still waiting for the Holyoke police to call.
I don't know, but then you had people in the comments going, arguing back and forth of what it was that they were there for, and nobody really knew. To me, that's kind of irresponsible.
Well, I mean, if you're there to figure out what just happened, maybe one of the things you should do is find out what just happened.
This would be fine if there was actual follow-ups. There is never a follow-up unless it is publicly stated by the police department themselves. There's nobody really calling to find out what happened the other day.
You do realize, though, we're talking about a weekend staff, and even the TV stations are kind of bare bones on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's not like to bring out the heavy hitters and, like they say, hey, let's bring our best reporter and our best photog out to Holyoke to see what the heck's going on there on High and Cabot.
At this point, Mike Greffy's like a gym coach.
Yeah.
Just sitting there in his office, drinking his coffee. Yeah, whatever. Go play kickball or whatever you got to do today.
Yes.
We're going to take it easy today. I'm nursing a hangover. You're going to be playing kickball. I'll be sitting here in my office.
It's very much like phys ed in junior high school.
Contact me if you need anything. And they're like, Mr. Garevi, there was a police presence in Holyoke. What should we do? Just tell everybody what you saw.
Come on, you're up.
Write it down.
It's kickball.
Yeah.
You're up.
Well, what do you mean, tell us what we saw? Well, did you see police tape? Yeah. Did you see flashing lights? Yeah. Well, then put that in the story. Come on, journalist. Let's go.
Yeah, see, but the journalist, the trained journalist, asks more questions than that. I mean, they want to know, like, the why. Like, why are the police out here? And what are they expecting to accomplish? And the where, you've got that. The what, you're kind of a little iffy on that. There's a police presence, but you don't know what they're doing there. And there's police tape. Why is there police tape? Why are we even out here? Shouldn't we be wrapping up the news?
Maybe.
These are questions that I think every journalist in Springfield should be asking.
And then you go over to the you go over to Western Mass News, and you got the cool kids in the morning doing Sloan and what's his name? What's his name with the hair? He's like It's like watching the popular kids in high school get a TV show. My God, did you see the police tape that was like outside of that Cabot and High Street the other day? It was crazy. Let me tell you, Bax.
They're like the Millennium, like Regis and Kathy Lee almost.
Yeah. Oh my God, I was gonna go the other day, but we couldn't find an Uber.
It's funny that you're bringing this up because yesterday, and I don't know why, I got a TikTok video of Kids Incorporated.
Well, because we've been talking about it.
That's exactly why. And they were dancing and talking about things that were going on in the world, but mostly dancing.
And they were more accurate than what we have today.
It appeared to. I mean, you'd have to put it in the right context, but yeah, they seemed to have a little bit more detail of what they were reporting while they danced.
KIDS. Yeah. See, it was a good show. Those kids could have learned something from those kids, but they haven't. And here we are wondering what the hell happened on the Cabot and High Street on Saturday night in Holyoke.
I'm going to go on a limb here, Steve, and that something may have happened between people that had not gone home yet after the road race.
Yeah.
People that decided to make a full night of it rather than go home and nurse off the hangover they were working on at noon.
But you don't know. This could just be your everyday run-of-the-mill activity in Holyoke versus whether But that's the thing. It leads people to say, wow, it must have been those people. That you just did it.
Yeah.
It must have been those people from that road race that stayed there till 11 o'clock at night. If you stayed there till 11 o'clock at night from the road race, you were pretty sauced.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting
That's
at.
a long day.
Granted, it's an assumption, but if the news staff's available, we're able to dig deep into that situation. Maybe we would know that.
Yeah.
It just makes logical sense that it was probably someone who was overserved at a bar in Holyoke after a full day of pre-gaming.
Police tape, flashy lights, law enforcement activity, backpack. No, you can't bring a backpack. It's the Holyoke Parade. You're not allowed to bring those in here. Get out of here, kid. That's why they couldn't find the rest of the clues. They couldn't put them together because there was no backpacks allowed at the parade route. See, now it's all making sense.
It wouldn't surprise me that Dora grew up to become a local news reporter.
A local news reporter, or even not a detective. A detective would have more information about what's going on. But yeah, she could be Dora the 22 News Explorer. Police activity, evidence markers, police batons. Backpack.
I'm lost in Holyoke. We need to pull out the map.
Yeah. The map. I'm a map. Yeah. And then Swiper comes in. They're like, Swiper, no swiping. And then BJ Calvey comes from Springfield and runs him right over.
Oh, man.
Two suspects were arrested on Friday following a police chase in connection with the shoplifting at a Tractor Supply in Orange. You got to have some balls to rob the Tractor Supply.
You can't walk out of there with much.
Well, I mean, you could. If you're strong enough, you get a couple bags of feed on you. You can get a chick. They have the baby chicks right now.
Yeah.
I saw them yesterday up in Greenfield.
Grab the whole cart of trailer hitches. 50,000 pounds of trailer hitches.
All trailer hitches, all the time. You see a guy in like Chinatown in New York City open up a trench coat going, trailer hitches, like a trailer hitches, like a trailer hitches. The Orange Police...
Orange Police?
Their police. I don't know. Stated that approximately at 10:30 a.m. on Friday, a detective and sergeant were called to Tractor Supply regarding a reported shoplifting of a shopping cart filled with tools. The sergeant used the license plate number obtained by an employee to locate the suspect vehicle on Route 202. The vehicle then began leading officers on a chase as the driver ignored police attempts at a motor vehicle stop, continue on Route 2 eastbound. Wouldn't it be weird if he was in a tractor, though, trying to get away? I mean, and top speed, maybe
20 miles an hour?
Maybe 30 on a good day. State police arrived in the area to assist with apprehending the vehicle as the driver exited the highway into the town of Westminster. The pursuit was ended by police due to traffic conditions. Shortly after, police located the vehicle in Ashburnham and attempted to stop it, but the driver again failed to comply. Officers used stop sticks to deflate the vehicle's tires and slow down the suspects. As the suspects continued trying to drive away, they struck two unoccupied parked vehicles. You so dumb you hit a parked car. Following the crash, police said that two suspects exited the vehicle and tried to escape on foot. Ashburnham officers, how many of those are there?
One and a part-timer.
Caught the suspects and brought them back to the Orange Police Department. Upon searching the vehicle, various items were located consistent with the reported shoplifting, as well as there are a lot of Carhartt shirts in here. Were you at a Tractor Supply recently? No.
What about these channel locks with the Carhartt logo on them?
No, that's not mine.
How do you explain this coping saw, this claw hammer?
What about these discounted tools and batteries?
Yeah.
And all things tractor.
What are you doing with this torque wrench?
These guys that were arrested were both from Fitchburg. Well, I guess Fitchburg and Orange is not that far away, right?
It's far enough. There's other places to go closer to home.
Well, you don't want to go get recognized in your home region.
In case you actually have to go to a Tractor Supply for something serious.
You know what? That would be a great heist movie. the heist of the Tractor Supply. Bunch of guys getting together. All right, boys. Tomorrow we're gonna go in there. All right, you grab the chains and take some of them ducklings that they got there in the little heat lamp thing. Do you have the key? Do you have the combination to the lock on the key to the cage where the chicks are?
I left it on the counter when we were leaving.
Where the chicks are incubating. Those are hot chicks, by the way.
Well, you grab the chicks. I'm going to grab an angle grinder, a sledgehammer, a router, and a crowbar.
All right.
See you back here in 0500.
What about one of them watering things for the horses? You know, the big watering tanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to grab that too. Is there anything else you want?
Yeah, get some neem oil so we can spray the trees so the bugs don't get to them this year. The last year we had lost the whole crop.
I'm going to need some marine antifreeze too. Can we get some of that?
Perhaps. By the way, did you make sure that you get enough bug spray for yourself?
This is the crime of the century.
It's like the Lufthansa heist of the 21st century, is robbing the Tractor Supply in Orange. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be rainy to start, then cloudy for the rest of the day with a high of 37. It is 37 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
Men, we all know.
Classic Rock. It's 7:52, and Queen with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Cloudy today with a high of 37. It is 37 right now in downtown Springfield.
Steve, today happens to be an autumn mist Monday. Did you know that?
I wish it was Sunday, because
Yes.
that's my fun day.
Yes. Well,
But I also appreciate a good autumn mist Monday.
how'd you like to win a $25 gift card to Autumn Mist Farm? I can't think of a better thing to win than that. Nobody beats their meat. No more construction. The road is back open, and because our phones probably won't be ready until tomorrow. Another texting contest, 413-293-1021. Text the word meat.
Meat. Like M-E-A-T, not M-E-E-T.
No, yeah, meat as in like
Meat.
Autumn Mist Farm sells meat.
Like, I want to meet you, M-E-A-T.
Unless you're going to meet me at Autumn Mist Farm so we can both eat meat.
You can beat your meat, M-E-A-T, at Autumn Mist Farm.
I
Actually, you
don't know
can't-
the limits to that.
You can't beat their meat.
Right.
You can beat your own meat, but
But-
not in the parking lot. You have to do it across the street at the park.
Do it at your at home before you decide to leave. Anyway, text it to 413-293-1021. Text the word meat before 8:30 this morning. Maybe you'll be a big winner.
You know what? Let me just get this one. Okay. First of all, happy anniversary.
Oh, that was last week.
We didn't mention it, though.
No, we didn't.
Why not?
Because I completely forgot about it until it was like the end of the day. I'm like, oh, yeah, hey, yeah, I guess that was the anniversary date.
And then this guy says, so why is the E.J. Gare parking garage closing? Finish the story before crapping on 22 News about their journalistic skills. Look at your own first. And I just responded, I'm not a journalist.
Signed, Brian Lapis.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But I'm not a journalist. A. B, you spelled the garage name wrong, so who's in the wrong here? You're not even paying attention. He spelled it G-I-E-R, it's G-A-R-E. Or is it? I don't know.
Because no journalist decided to tell us the right answer.
Right.
They're closing part of the garage because, for the same reason...
Don't tell the guy. Don't give him the satisfaction of knowing.
Well, I mean, aren't they relying for us to give them information about local stories?
I guess so. What's wrong with it?
Apparently, it is. There are parts of it that are not exactly safe. Not so unlike the old Civic Center parking lot before that was torn down, and so
Okay.
temporarily they are trying to make changes to it so it is a safer place to park your car.
Emergency repairs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
'Cause you don't want that thing crumbling on you, while you're parking your car.
You know what, though? Like, let's say the garage collapses, right?
Yes.
Somebody's looking for their loved one, and they're like, oh, my God, I think my husband was up at that parking garage today. What parking garage was it? It was the E.J. Gare garage. Oh, that's good. He was only at the Northampton one. I've never heard of that other one.
Yeah, see,
before.
that's right. Yeah.
See? I'm just thinking of horrible scenarios
it's a
that
horrible-
could possibly happen where somebody would get mixed up because nobody even knew what the name of the garage was to begin with. We only knew that because of this morning.
Now, let's say I was at like a Harold's Ice Cream. I was getting myself an ice cream cone, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there's word in the street, oh, my God, the parking garage collapsed. And I'd say, which one? And they say that one.
DJ Gare.
DJ Gare. And I'm like, oh, well, okay. And I'll have sprinkles and a waffle cone. I'd still order the ice cream before I go and, saw whether my car was going to be okay.
Well, it's like Elaine ordering the juju fruits before she went and visited her boyfriend who had gotten into an accident.
Yeah, well,
I was hungry.
It can't be helped.
Yeah. But
perfectly reasonable thing to do.
Again, I'm not a journalist, sir.
Yeah, but you are part of your job responsibility is to provide some news information. I mean that is
yes, but
part
if the
of what
news
you do.
information is only as good as what I presented to you from what I've read, then why is it my responsibility to make sure that it's accurate?
Well, Steve, if everyone took that approach, then no story would be accurate.
You just blew my mind.
See?
You know that?
Pow. That's exactly
Just
what I'm here for.
Right out of the park.
I mean, I'm
man.
not saying that you have a journalistic responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
You're really just the messenger, not the gatherer of information. You're not a journalist.
I'm a
How do you
hunter.
put- how do you
I'm a
not-
hunter versus the gatherer. Is what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sniping out news stories. They are making news stories.
And all they have to do is ask the right questions, so you have the right answers.
Well, I've lost complete interest in this conversation.
Well, I don't
anyway.
know, Steve. I could go on. It's 7:57 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware with Scott's 4-Step. 4 easy steps to an awesome lawn.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, folks, the men's NCAA college basketball tournament is now down to the Sweet 16. That's it. That's all that's left. 16 teams, many of whom I did not pick to be there. But here we are looking at Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, Houston, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, Purdue, Michigan, Alabama, Tennessee, and Iowa State. So who did I have in the Sweet 16? Well, I can tell you this. It wasn't Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, Houston, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, Purdue, Michigan, Alabama, Tennessee, or Iowa State. No, sir. I had something different. I had Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, Florida, Nebraska, Illinois, Houston, Arizona, Wisconsin, Gonzaga, Purdue, Michigan, Alabama, UVA, and Iowa State. Now, you might say, Baxy, your picks weren't so bad. Apart from Florida, Wisconsin, Gonzaga, and UVA, your picks were actually pretty close to Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, Houston, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, Purdue, Michigan, Alabama, Tennessee, and Iowa State. And while all of that is true, the fact of the matter is, on the ESPN Tournament Challenge, I'm currently in 11.4 millionth place. And on the very sketchy, illegal Rock 102 office pool, I'm now in a two-way tie for 7th place with, of all people, Steve Nagle, who I should point out knows less about college basketball than most people. And yet, all I had to do was make a few changes, and perhaps I could have selected Duke, St. John, Michigan State, UConn, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, Houston, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, Purdue, Michigan, Alabama, Tennessee, and Iowa State for the Sweet 16. Now, if there's any consolation, nobody on the ESPN Tournament Challenge is still operating with the perfect set. And to the best of my knowledge, neither does anybody else. So on the positive side, Rock 102 gets to keep that $1 million for the 35th year in a row. Meanwhile, I'm making a new set of brackets that will hopefully look like I know what I'm doing, but I'm not holding out much hope because clearly I'm one of the biggest dopes on the Rock 102 staff. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Scott's 4-Step, a simple lawn care program that prevents weeds, nourishes grass, and strengthens your lawn season by season. It does everything you want it to do. Go to Rocky's for Scott's 4-Step, $95 with your Ace Rewards card. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Take Springfield's classic rock wherever. Stream the station, listen to Bax and Nagle's podcast, stay on top of what you can win, find out where your favorite band's playing locally, or have fun and leave us a message with the open mic feature, along with plenty more. The Rock 102 app. Download it now and you're good to go with Springfield's classic rock anytime.
All right. I don't know why that happened, but I thought that was some interesting information that should be played right after a Fleetwood Mac song on Rock 102.
Well, I think that's a new rule we have around there. Every time we play a Fleetwood Mac song, we have to play some information about winning and or how we do.
Yeah, just to wake you up a little bit, just to say, hey, we're still here. Don't worry, we didn't walk away because it was a Fleetwood Mac song.
Changing it up is how we say it. Right?
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to do things differently.
So, I don't know. Busy weekend. Had a couple shows. I did a show last night with Marty out in Saratoga Springs.
Wow.
Which was, getting bougie now.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, that's that you weren't playing like at the race course, right? You weren't playing in front of the ponies.
That was the thing. I didn't see any whores there. Somebody told me there was horse racing.
Horses.
Oh, horse racing. I thought they were saying horse racing, and I'm like, I got to get to Saratoga right now.
I mean, I think on a good day you might find what you're looking for, but I don't think in the off season you're going to find very much of much.
No, but that was a good time out there.
Yeah,
a couple of other comedians we met. They're going to be coming to the Shortstop with us.
Nice.
At some point, we'll be doing more stuff out that way too. We're expanding.
Very cool.
Yeah,
good for you. Look at you.
And then Chuck Norris died on Friday.
This is it's you never expect that the great ones are going to pass, but even a Chuck Norris at some point is going to go. And
well, I mean, he was 86. And it's understandable when somebody at 86 years old passes away, and he was an icon, for God's sakes. He was the guy. When you thought of karate in the 80s, you thought of that guy. You thought of karate in the 70s. You thought Bruce Lee. Like it was a long line of these. What do they call them? Senseis.
They were martial art masters.
Yeah. So,
can I just bring up something about this whole Chuck Norris thing that I found to be a little bit upsetting?
What?
Like everybody else, I was devastated by the news of the passing of Chuck Norris. Mm-hmm. I mean, as a kid, I watched all those movies.
It's a death. It's sad.
It is. Of course, it's sad. And a guy like Chuck Norris, you figured, would live forever and ever, and in his films, he will. So I did what I thought was a very sensitive video. Put it on the TikToks because, we're required to do that multiple times during the day. And what I said in the video was, Chuck Norris died today at the age of 84. Chuck showed up at heaven today, and the first thing he said to God was, thanks for saving my seat. Now, I thought that was a good joke. But then I posted it, and then I got all these people said, he was 86. As if the age were the thing in that joke that seemed the most improbable.
What were they taking issue with?
The fact that I had called him 84 rather than 86. And it was like repeated. It's like, I said, okay, look at this video in its totality. The fact that Chuck Norris said to God, thanks for saving my seat, you're willing to believe that.
Yeah.
That's the part of the video that seems somewhat structurally intact. Like that seems plausible. But the fact that I undercut his age by 2 years, that's the part that people had a problem with.
But you know what, Bax? That boosts the video. When people take exception to what if you have a fact wrong in it.
Yeah.
This is what I'm telling you. This is when I did the Appalachian Trail video. When I called it Appalachian.
People got crazy about it.
In Paquette, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
I did it because I was being a dink, because that's what I do. And I intended just because I needed to put a video up. It wound up being, getting 168,000 views on it.
Yeah.
Because people were upset that I was mispronouncing the name Appalachian. But I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
because it helps us.
If it's engagement that changes the thing, but it's like,
Yeah.
really? It's like that's the thing that you're really upset about?
Yeah,
I just thought that was kind of
Well, people get upset about
crazy.
the stupidest things. But
okay.
but this is society. This is what we do now.
Isn't the bigger picture here, not so much that I said he was 84 rather than 86, but isn't the bigger picture here that the great Chuck Norris is no longer with us, that we are in a world in which Chuck Norris can no longer protect us from the evils of this planet? I'm far more concerned about
Well,
that.
he wasn't doing a great job to begin with, but yeah, I understand.
Well,
what you're saying.
he didn't, humbly, he didn't take credit for everything he did. We don't know how the world would have been, without him. For all we know, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. He was probably fighting crimes and taking care of terror cells behind our back without, you expect like the kids from 22 News to find out that information?
Yeah.
Never going to happen.
They don't even know who Chuck Norris was. They have no idea.
They don't have any context at all. Is that the guy in the jokes?
Is that the guy that they made fun of? What's his name? Chuck Norris? What did he do?
What didn't he do?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He
Chuck Norris could kill just by looking at you. He could kill a man simply by passing a napkin from his mouth to your hand.
He was, like I said, he was an icon, and he will be sadly missed.
Yes, indeed he will.
But other than that, great weekend.
Oh yeah, you get past the death and destruction and the sadness. What a great weekend it was.
We're in that wedge of weather where Saturday was beautiful, and then Sunday was just shiznit. It was just it was all day pouring rain. I lost a windshield wiper on Route 2.
You did? Because of the rain?
The windshield wiper just flung right off.
Well, that's not right.
At the last, luckily it wasn't. Luckily it had stopped kind of raining, so I made it. I was pretty close to the BJ's up in Greenfield anyway. That I walked in there and got the wiper blade. But I was like, what? It just fell off, and
when's the last time you put one on? Put new blades on?
Well, the blade, I just put blades on the truck. Now, remember I told you a couple of weeks ago the two blades cost me like $65.
Well, did you maybe snap that little plastic thing?
Maybe but this wasn't the same vehicle. This one hadn't been replaced in a while. So then I just replaced those, and I don't know, whatever. It just fell off. It was just weird. So I apologize to whoever hit my windshield wiper because I couldn't see. It just flew right off.
We're due for a pretty good stretch of sunny days, but that's not going to happen until about next Saturday. Mostly sunny, partly sunny.
April 1st, basically. That
the
weekend.
28th. Well, April 1st is a Wednesday.
Yeah.
But still. But after the 1st, it's showers and crappy again. We need a break here.
We do need a break.
Need something to break. Winter is over. It's now spring. Let's have a couple of nice springtime days. Yeah, let's see let's see things become green again. Let's see.
It'll happen.
Something. I want to see a bud.
It'll eventually. I was noticing yesterday, there's still tiny little piles of snow here and there, depending on where it is. I mean, it's in the shade or whatever. You're driving by a patch of woods, you can still see a pile of snow up there. It's almost gone, Bax.
We could still get hit, though. We could still get hit.
Oh, I know. Remember we got that, I think it was mid-April.
Like an April 1st, April 15th?
Yeah.
On tax day. Worst tax day ever.
Aren't they all pretty bad?
They're all pretty awful. Yeah. When you think about it that way. But, that's coming around.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just batten down the hatches. Oh, boy. That's all we just needed to limp along to get through this 8 o'clock segment. Because I got nothing, pal. Nothing.
It's 8:20 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102. Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 8:28 and Def Leppard with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
Wet. And then could see some flurries this afternoon. Possible. Yeah. With a high of 38. It is 35 right now in downtown Springfield.
Maybe a little bit later on this hour we can bring this up. There's a story out there of one of my all-time favorite bands that is calling it quits touring for the first time in 54 years. I don't want to talk about it right now because I really feel like it deserves maybe it's a little bit more time to talk about this. But maybe after news we could talk about how the band Orleans has decided to come off the road after so many years. But they're doing 4 shows in Massachusetts.
Still the One? Is that the song?
Still the One and Dance With Me.
They sang Dance With Me?
Yes.
Why did I think that was somebody else?
Because it wasn't. It was Orleans.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's a sad state of affairs, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Or I celebrate their entire catalog.
The 2 songs that you just mentioned.
They had other songs. They had a third hit, Love Takes Time. I don't know if you know that one. But
well, it's true. Love does take time.
It does take time.
Let me just see something real quick now that you brought it up. Because you mentioned it earlier. You were in a conversation with somebody. Time Life Music.
Yes. Somebody asked me if I had anything left in the old office. And I said, well, there's a couple of Time Life record collections that I'm not quite ready to give up yet.
Yeah.
So I have to go over there and grab them.
All right. Can you put Q on my thing?
Why, of course.
Yeah. Can you? Does that come up on the board?
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Here we go. There we go. Yeah.
It's one of those Time Life commercials.
Imagine owning the world's greatest love songs by the greatest voices of our time.
Oh, Michael Bolton. Oh, God.
Frickin' Bolton,
Velvety
man.
voice of Michael Bolton.
In a lifetime collection.
Ooh, somewhere out there. Linda Ronstadt and James Ingram.
Time Life Music presents the Ultimate Love Songs Collection.
Luther.
6 beautiful songs
Voice is smooth as a silk
by
sheet.
all our favorite artists.
Man.
Rod
This
Stewart.
is Rod Stewart at his best.
Rod Stewart,
Yeah, it wasn't with the faces.
Celine
It was
Dion,
here.
Phil Collins.
Oh, Phil
Gloria
Collins.
Estefan.
Gloria Estefan.
That's right.
Without the Miami
Ultimate
sound
Love
machine.
Songs collection
Who needs
on
them?
2 CDs for
Oh,
just
yeah.
$26.99.
We're almost there. Peter Cetera in Chicago.
But wait, use your credit card and we'll take $10 off.
Oh, the worst songs in heart.
$16.99 for
That's
2
right. You
CDs
get
full of
2
this
CDs
junk?
for just $16.99.
These are classics.
All for one. Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah, I love
That's
it.
worth $16.
What about-
Review
what
other
is the other
romantic
one?
collections. Satisfaction guaranteed. Ultimate
Brian
Love
Adams.
Songs is not sold in stores.
Why? Why is it not sold in stores?
Satisfaction guarantee. How do you
remember,
judge
use your
satisfaction?
credit card and get
Upon
2 beautiful
completion?
CDs for
No,
just
no, no. You receive them in the mail.
6806 to order the Ultimate Love Songs collection on 2 CDs for $16.99 plus shipping and handling when you use
That's
a
it.
credit card.
Say, okay, you order them in the mail. You order them, they arrive in the mail. They come unbroken. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Listen, here's another one.
right,
Sounds of the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't care what today is.
It's slow and it's sexy.
Oh, this is the soul
It's
connection.
warm and it's
This is the
sweet.
soul one.
I like
It's
it.
all about love and romance and dancing slow and oh so close. It's Time Life's Body and Soul collection.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
off the lights.
Celtic.
On one in a million.
This is soul, baby.
It is soul. Great stuff, man.
Yeah.
It takes you back to a simpler time.
Oh, man, I love this one.
That's a good one.
Promise to love faithfully.
Come to me.
Put your arms around me, baby, come. Spending every dime to keep us talking on the
Oh, who's
line.
this?
That's how it was.
Oh.
Hi, I'm James Ingram.
Oh,
course
James.
There's
James.
nothing
Hi,
better than a
James.
sensual love song. It's music that moves your body and touches your soul. Oof.
I gotta get me to a restroom.
Well, there's 28 more minutes of this, so we're not gonna play it all, as we're not gonna have time for the fake news.
This is my song.
I'm the lady.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, You Are My Lady from Freddie Jackson.
I wish Time Life would come up with more great collections.
Do they even exist anymore?
I don't know if they
I
do.
don't think they do.
Too bad. It's, oh my God, look at the time. It's 8:34 on Rock 107. With Bax and Nagle on Rock 102, it's time for news. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. The city of Northampton plans to close access to the upper levels of the E.J. Gare parking garage. Well, thank God it's not the Northampton parking garage.
Actually, I think that is the Northampton parking garage.
Oh, it's the same place, isn't
I
it?
believe so.
Beginning today for safety assessment, the closures affect the 4th and 5th floors following the discovery of concrete deterioration, including spalling and surface damage.
What's spalling?
I have no idea.
Never heard of that.
Let's look it up. Let's find out what spalling is. Spalling is the flaking, chipping, or breaking away of surface material.
Ah. So that was very similar to what happened to the old Civic Center parking lot in Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
You had lots of spalling.
Well, eventually you're going to have to replace these things. They're good for, however many years they're good for, and then eventually they start crumbling away, and you'll have to repair at least some of the things in there.
Not so unlike parts of Northampton already.
I don't think that garage is like the Civic Center garage, though, because, I was just there not too long ago. It felt pretty structurally safe, as opposed to when you drove through that old Civic Center thing, there was caution tape of places you couldn't park because your car would have get smashed by a boulder of concrete.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to prevent that from happening.
Well, that's probably good because, like, the Civic Center garage should have been replaced 25 years ago, whereas the Northampton one is just starting to show its age.
220 parking spaces will remain available on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd levels, while the upper floors are restricted. So
I'm sure no one will notice. As you know, it's always easy to find ample parking in downtown Northampton.
Yes. So maybe that caller is now, or that texter from the Route 10 Tire listener line is happy now that I told you why.
Yes.
Because I had to go to a different news source in order to get the information about why.
And now you know.
And now we all know. I think we're doing pretty good here, don't you think? This is a scary, speaking of collapsing, 6 people were taken to area hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries after a floor collapse at a wedding venue in Tamworth, New Hampshire at around 4:30 Saturday. The collapse happened while a wedding party of about 140 people were present, according to a joint release from the Tamworth Fire Rescue Department and the Fire Marshal's office. The office confirmed that there were no fatalities and said late Saturday that 4 of the people treated at the hospital had already been released. A phone call to the venue, the Preserve at Chocorua, was not answered. Tamworth, a town of about 2,800 people, is around 150. Oh, who gives a crap where it is? It's in New Hampshire.
Well, you have.
Why do they do that? It's 115 miles or 185 kilometers from north of Concord.
Okay, I'm looking at the pictures of what happened.
Yeah, free.
That ruins the whole wedding, doesn't it?
Man, from all those weddings I did over the years, there was a couple of places like old buildings and stuff where people were like jumping around. They're having a good time. They're jumping around,
but you
dancing.
can feel the floor start to give a little bit.
Yeah, and I'd be like standing I'm like, thank God I'm on the edge of the room here, because if it does collapse, at least the center will go first.
Some people say, well, we got such a deal on the room.
Well, now you know why.
Because the floor is about to collapse.
Yeah. There was another story here, and I don't know where it is. It was about this cop who drove. Yeah. Here we go. An Oklahoma police officer's body cam shows the dramatic moment during a chase when he jumped on the hood of a stranger's car to catch up to the fleeing suspect. Oklahoma City police say an officer started driving after 2 suspects on mini bikes. On March 6th. The drivers allegedly failed to stop at a stop sign. Eventually, body camera video shows the officer ending up chasing after one suspect on foot. As the suspect began driving off again, the officer met a stranger in a passing car who was willing to help. The officer jumped on the hood of the man's car, shouting, "Go, go, go! Drive, drive, drive!" And for 2 minutes, the officer hung on to the hood of the car while directing the driver where to go. When the suspect stopped briefly, the officer jumped off the hood of the car and took him to the ground as backup arrived. The man who drove the officer around on the hood of the car stayed on the scene. So that's the kind of adrenaline y'all get to deal with, he said. The suspect was arrested for eluding a police officer, failure to maintain liability insurance, driving without a license, and all kinds of other stuff. He failed to stop at a stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of protocol is that where you jump on the hood of a passerby and say, go, 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 drive, drive, drive? That seems a little irresponsible for the nature of the crime that was being committed.
Well, Steve, I mean, we don't know if there was some sort of probable cause that may have been involved here. We also have seen enough movies where these kinds of things happen, where the cop could very easily have taken the driver out of the car, taken it himself.
T.J. Hooker used to jump across the hood of the car?
I believe so. I think if William Shatner did that now, there'd be real problems. But yeah, when he was still young and in his early 60s, spry, in his 60s, yeah. And you know, you'd have Adrian Smed at the end of the episode. I can't believe you jumped in that car, man. That's TJ. That's some crazy talk right there.
That just sounds like a wildly irresponsible thing to do.
See, and I hear that.
I hear on a dirt bike.
I hear that. I hear good policing. Hollywood style.
I just don't. You know, like when you're working at a convenience store and a convenience store is getting robbed, let them take the money. Like you're not going to try to be a hero by knocking the gun out of somebody's hand.
Look who's talking, a guy that busted up a terror cell at Cumberland Farms.
Listen, if Cumberland Farms knew that I had known that the place was being robbed, I would have driven right past the Cumberland Farms and went to the Pride Station and paid the extra money for the coffee that day. But I didn't. I unwittingly walked in there like an idiot looking for fat guy breakfast, which is the Little Debbie fudge round and the coffee. Okay?
But Steve, that's not what happened. And on that given day, you went into that Cumberland Farms.
And inadvertently stopped a robbery from happening.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The robbery ceased at the moment they got a load of you.
My point is, I'm such a puss that I would have driven past it if I had known it was being robbed. That's my point.
Well, you know,
if I had known it was being robbed, I would have cowered and ran away.
Heroism and courage are a tricky thing. You know, it's the most courageous of us are not courageous all the time. You know, the most heroic of us cannot be heroes every day. But in that moment, on that one shred of time, you were both. And I would embrace that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess.
Don't try this false humility with me.
It's not false humility.
It's not. Come on.
Actual humility. The whole thing was dumb.
No, it was not dumb, Steve. It was heroic.
And it turned into a regional sensation.
It was.
It shouldn't had to.
And you got free coffee for a period of time.
I did. And then the guy, I think it was like shortly after that, one of the guys from the Chaz and AJ show on WPLR saved a family from a house fire by running up to their door and alerting them that there was a fire going on and safely got those people out of the house. If he hadn't done that, see, that's kind of more heroic for a radio guy than a guy inadvertently walking into a Cumberland Farms that was under arrest.
To me, that's like a phony phone call. That's like at the War of the Roses type of thing. Yeah, it's like, yeah, sure you did.
That guy ran towards danger. I run away from danger.
No, you stood there in the face of danger, got your fudge rounds, and then left.
I didn't know there was danger. The only danger I thought was going to happen that day was the clerk repeating the same color commentary to me over and over again about the same thing that I would buy every day. You're going to give yourself diabetes there. That Little Debbie fudge round every day. Tubby. She wouldn't say tubby.
No, she wouldn't say tubby. But you know, in the final analysis,
analysis, yes,
you saved the day, and that, my friends, is an act of courage.
I guess you could say that.
That's what I'm choosing to say.
But I'm also retired from crime fighting.
Steve, when it goes down again and you happen to be present or walk into the middle of a scene, it's going to happen again. Never say never. These things can happen, and you could be a hero again and get a full year of more coffee.
I've turned into a different kind of person now. I'm the kind of person that's like an old man who calls the police on a passerby walking down the street. I don't know who this fella is, and he doesn't look right. I need you to send somebody over here right now. And then they thank me for wasting their time for the day because it was the guy down the street. All right, I guess we're done with the news here. It took longer than we thought. It's a mix of rain and snow, perhaps, this afternoon. Just flurries, nothing big deal. High of 38. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 42. It is 35 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:53, and Stone Temple Pilots of Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be rainy, and then maybe some flurries, perhaps. I don't even want to say. But anyway, high of 38. It's 35 right now in downtown Springfield.
You know, I mentioned that Orleans, after 54 years on the air, has decided to come off the road after a brilliant career with many, many hits that I celebrate. They're playing 4 shows in Massachusetts on their final tour, the South Shore Music Circus in Cohasset, August 21st, Cape Cod Melody Tent in Hyannis, Indian Ranch in Webster, August 23rd, and the Colonial Theater in Pittsfield on September 11th. I thought I'd just bring that up for those of you who love Orleans the way I do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Still the one. Still the one band that I love listening to over and over and over again.
Well, how can you not love Still the One? It's a great, great song. To this day, Steve, makes me excited to be alive. Makes you tap your toe. Makes you think that everything's going to be okay because you're still the one, Steve.
Why do we play this over and over and over again? This is considered classic rock.
We don't play this.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do, don't we?
No. We should be playing Orleans.
Are you sure
now.
We don't play this?
Positive.
You're absolutely 100% sure we don't.
100% positive. It's not even in the system. Still the one. Still the one.
This is a terrible, terrible song.
What are you
Let's go back to the Time
about?
Life commercials.
Oh, my God.
You want to go back to the Time Life commercials?
Well, listen, Steve, I don't...
Hang on a
second.
Let me find out the Time Life music collection. Do you have a contest, by the way? Do you have to...
Yeah. You know what? I should probably mention that the Western Mass Home and Garden Show is coming to the Big E this weekend. We have a 4-pack of tickets that can be yours if you text the word HOME to 413-293-1021.
Home says what?
Text the word HOME to 413-293-1021. Get it in there by, say, like 9:30-ish or so, and someone will be chosen at random to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Western Mass Home and Garden Show.
All right, I'll give you a choice here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Time Life Music presents the 60s Gold Collection, or Sounds of the 70s, or Time Life Oldies But Goodies with Bowser. Remember we said the Bowser? Classic Soft Rock Collection. We did the Love Song one. We did the Soul one.
The Soft Rock Collection's really scratching me where I itch.
How about the Time Life Music Rock Dreams music collection ad?
Spin the wheel, Steve. I could go with any one of them.
Time Life Loves the 80s. Which one do you want?
Let's go with like the soft rock one.
The soft. Oh, that's soft.
I'm not feeling like a real like a metal one right now.
This isn't soft rock.
Soft rock.
It's Rock Dreams.
Yeah, that's kind of
the hottest
soft
collection of your favorite power ballads of the 70s and 80s.
This sounds like a commercial for Rock 102.
Yeah, no kidding. We play
these crappy songs.
Get
songs.
2 albums for the price of one. With Rock Dreams,
2 albums for the price of
classic
one.
rockers for just $14.99 on 2 cassettes or $16.99 on 2 CDs.
All right, we play all this stuff.
All right, go to the other one, the songs of the 70s or something.
Yeah,
something
where was
a little
that?
softer.
Here, Time Life Solving the 70s.
Chewy has everything.
That's an ad for Chewy, damn it.
Come on.
Who wants a Chewy?
Dogs can feed themselves.
Put it on auto ship.
The following is a paid advertisement for Time Life's music collection.
You fill up my
Oh, God,
It was a time
man.
of beautiful ballads
Kick ass.
by artists we'll never forget.
And she believes in
There were songs
Kenny
that
Rogers.
inspired
The wood that makes it good.
It sure does. And
I
I
got
got wood right
watching it.
now.
Yeah.
songs that touched our heart.
The late Neil Sedaka.
It was our favorite decade. It was the 70s.
Oh, Tony Orlando.
Oak tree, it's been 3 long years.
Hi, I'm Tony Orlando.
Oh,
you know the
it's Tony
70s
Orlando.
really
Oh, my
was
God.
a wonderful decade. Now, maybe you were young and falling in love, or maybe you were just lucky and already in love. It really didn't matter, because every time you turned on the radio, there was a song that would capture your heart.
Oh, yeah, it was. Did you happen to see the most beautiful girl in the world?
Ah, Blue Bayou.
You know, when we hear these beautiful songs today,
Yeah.
they take us right back to special times in our lives.
So
And of
true.
course, special people. So many of these 70s hits have become classics. Why? They are truly timeless.
Once.
Twice. 3 times a lady. Ooh, Gib. How can you mend a broken heart?
How can
I still like More Than a Woman.
And right now,
too.
I'd like to introduce you to my friend and my co-host, Lauren Chase.
Lauren
Welcome,
Chase!
It's so wonderful to work with you, Tony. You've had such an amazing career, and you're still
There we go.
Music proudly presents Romancing the 70s.
Romancing the
Yeah.
70s.
Tony, are you ready to go back to the 70s?
Absolutely, Lauren.
Daniel.
And you know, anytime I think of the 70s, I think of a special artist whose incredible songs helped define the decade.
I bet you
The
do.
one and only Elton John.
Yeah. Traveling tonight on a train. Plane. It's a plane.
Whatever.
You can see the red tail light.
I can see the red tail lights. Oh, where? Man, Dave Loggins, another great one. That takes you back.
Staying with friends, and I've got lots of room.
If I could sit time
Jim Croce.
Everything that I'd like to do is recycle.
If a picture
Paints 1,000 words.
Love it.
Then why
Love it. Bread.
can't I paint you?
I like bread.
I like bread too.
And John Denver.
Oh,
Again.
man, I'll tell you what. It just makes me want to go and picture some records today and
Yeah.
play all
One
the
of my
great
favorite
classics.
all-time singers is Dionne Warwick. And
Why-
anytime
for some
Dionne...
reason, Tony Orlando, in this particular point, this is 2007.
Yeah.
He looks like a drawing that you would see in a Spanish textbook of what a grandpa would look like.
It's 9 o'clock on Rock 102.